Welcome back to Definitely Not Definitive. I'm Ken.
And I'm Bethany.
And we're just a couple destined to be in love that loves reacting to some Destiny.
Yes, we do.
Destiny 2, Season of the Witch, Part 3, finishing it up, all the cutscenes. If you want our full Destiny reaction, we got a playlist for you in the description of this video. Are you ready to do this?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Let's do it.
We have discovered a vast chamber above the Witch Queen's oubliette. Undoubtedly, it guards one of Savathun's secrets. Uncover it.
On it, Eris.
Hey, where do you think you're going? Get out!
We need no permission. The spire is open to us, and we will go where we please.
You don't even know what's in here.
An engine to generate Imbaru. Savathun's reinterpretation of her brother's logic.
Exercise caution, Guardian. This vault was designed to confuse you. Conquer it.
Such a great cackle.
Imbaru is a complicated thesis. More so than sword logic. Instead of killing, Savathun used her cunning to feed her worm.
So that was your
Every
thing.
time the Witch Queen outpaced our understanding, she gained power. Every falsehood, fiction, rumor, and misplaced theory gave Savathun her tribute.
Even in death, she seeks to outwit us. And she's failed once again.
That's right, Ikora.
Let's not get cocky, though.
You glowbugs are awfully trusting.
Glow bugs.
I'm not too comfortable giving all this juice to your kooky little witch. The Exo Stranger warned you.
You say
that
kooky like it's a bad
Eris would be
thing.
corrupted by power and turn into a tyrant. Said she's gonna rule us all. Even Savathun.
In Elsie's timeline, Eris was corrupted by stasis in the darkness. But here, Guardians wield both safely. We've proven that they can be used for good.
Yeah, so shut
A
up.
little parlor trick, sure. But this is hive magic you're playing with. You're really gonna hand Eris godlike power and just hope she keeps it together? After you was specifically warned not to? The hubris!
Elsie said that Eris succumbed to despair, pushed over the edge by her nightmares. But the Eris I know has been tested countless times and never once faltered.
That's right, Ikora.
Instead of being overwhelmed by her nightmares, she conquered them. Besides, our Eris has an even greater advantage. She has her friends protecting her, and that's a force strong enough to alter any timeline.
Well said.
It is good to see you. I was taking a moment to prepare for the ritual. There is suffering in anticipation, but strength in its acknowledgement. And, if I am to be honest, something more. Guardian, a moment of peace awaits in the midst of the frenzy. A moment born of ugliness and violence truly earned. It is justice. So I will step again into the ritual space and be consumed by the profane chitin. When you tithe to me, I will feel the rank blood of your offerings flow down my throat.
Dirty.
And as the vile power fills me to bursting, my thoughts will be only of the Hive Sisters.
Maybe you should go see the Drifter.
Zivu Arath.
Just,
Of
you know,
my
for a quickie.
plans for them. It is then I find that sweet moment. And deep beneath my hideous mask, I smile.
Okay, no, she's fine.
I gotta admit, kid, you're stacking some legit tithes. You got a real flair for brutality.
Sword logic is an ironically blunt tool, easily wielded by even the dullest mind. Though I must admit, to be guided by such simple-mindedness is liberating.
And what's your grand purpose? Peace and unity?
Vengeance against the Hive.
Hey, I don't blame you. Being Savathun's ghost is no treat. I'm not looking forward to bringing her back.
I don't believe you.
Not least because her absence made you de facto general of the Lucent Brood.
Leadership suits me.
For now, your time of self-glorification has merely passed.
That's rich coming from a wannabe hive god. Even with the Guardian's help, you're still coming up short. You're not even close to Xivu's strength yet. And you look like a screeb ready to pop.
Fear not, you osseous little toad. The path to victory lies close at hand. Even if you lack the eyes to see it.
This has to stop. Throwing yourself into danger is not going to solve our problem. We have to step back and find another way.
You would put me in the library, and I would be so glad of it that I would never set foot outside its walls. But only I can stop Xivu Arath, and nothing is won by my complacency.
Eris,
I'm tired.
this is too much for you.
I am not so frail, Ikora.
I have never thought that.
Then do not treat me as such. You know that I am capable. And now you know of what. Ikora, I have always had your trust. And you have never needed my forgiveness. Now please, I ask for your support.
Do you know what I see? A friend who takes risks because she doesn't want anyone else to. A friend who is too afraid to look away from disaster and thinks destroying herself is the only way to stop it.
I held back when Savathun took the light. I allowed others to go in my stead and take the revenge I am owed. But I made a promise to myself. I would be her ruin. We both value action in times of loss. Let me act. Let me be who I am.
Don't you dare die,
I
Eris
don't
Wine.
want you lost to this.
Then help me finish it.
This feels very much like a long goodbye.
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm gonna give it to you straight, Sunbeam. I've run the numbers, and your gal Eris doesn't have what it takes.
Points for coming out with new nicknames.
She talks a good game, but she's nowhere near strong enough to deal with Xivu. This whole idea was a long shot from the start, and you Guardians came up short.
Shove it.
So listen, I don't plan on getting crushed by Xivu, or you, or anybody else for that matter. I'll stick around, but if things get hairy, I'm out of here.
Expect nothing less.
Savathun can stay dead for all I care. Doesn't make any difference to me. Maybe I can do the Finch thing, be a free agent. Ah, don't look so surprised. Sure, your ghost would never abandon you, but there's one important difference between him and me.
I'm smart.
He's an idiot.
Yep. Yeah, that was coming.
Sorry to rain on your parade, but there's no way this ends in anything but a bloodbath. And I don't plan on getting caught in it.
When we're done with Xivu Arath, will come after you.
Yeah.
Lies built on lies. The predictions of the dead witch that I would take her bargain, unseat her sister, Serve her deceptions to survive the witness. That my fate is not my own. Did she learn nothing from the Traveler? Any rule can be unseated by a choice.
Okay.
God of battlefield filth. Savathun, God of the false and polluted. You have forgotten you were born as prey. I will remind you. Now is the time, my acolyte, my guardian. The truth is in the cards. The blood whispers, Asa's mewling suffer song. The venom surge behind my eyes. This will be our final tide. Let it be glorious.
When the Hive Gods
when
made
this is
their
all
pact
over,
with the worms of Fundament, they
we
were
need our Eris
bound
back.
to fulfill their ambitions, lest their worm devour them. Oryx sought understanding. Savathun sought lies and trickery. Xivu Arath has fatted her worm on the strength of civilizations. And all that remains of those are the epitaphs etched in the pages of Hive Apocrypha.
She always like this? Lighten up a little. Yeesh.
She kind of always has one.
You think Eris will finally lose her marbles?
No.
She seemed short a few when she started. This might be the thing that finally knocks him loose.
Enough.
What?
Thank you, Ikora.
I hear how your guardians talk. They ain't exactly discreet.
We
Let's come right us.
trust Eris to get this done.
Huh, you really think so? You might want to check your comms, because that's not what I'm hearing.
Children of the sky, your false peace and false smile will break beneath my sword. With each death, I test my truth against your own. We are paired to our true shapes.
Your logic will fail you, Xivu Arath, and the deep will not save you.
With our war, you cut the rot and prove my logic true.
This is it, Guardian. Eris consulted her cards one last time and departed for the oubliette in Savathun's throne world. She awaits your final tithe.
Do it.
Before she left, she asked me to ready something for Transmat from the tower security vault. And I agreed. Everything is on the line. Asa, the Vanguard, the fate of the Sol System and beyond. Empower her, Guardian. Give Eris the strength she needs to reshape the entire Hive Pantheon. And then, all we need to do is get out of her way. This is it, Guardian. Eris is ready for the final tithing ritual. This is our last and best opportunity to deal a real blow to Xivu Arath. I know this may seem like a long shot, but we have to trust in Eris. She made herself for this moment. You both did.
Come on, Eris.
It's been fun watching you play Hive, but this has gotten out of hand.
Okay, you can go away now.
You activate the oubliette again, and Xivu's goons are gonna go full Tora Bottle on this place.
You lack imagination, underling. You shall soon witness the consequences of your master's apostasy.
Eris uses the best words.
Yeah.
Her vocabulary. She got 800 on her SAT.
Yeah.
Sivu's calling up the Leviathan Eater. He's been around since Fundament. A real heavy hitter. I'm getting out of here, and you should too. Stick around and you'll end up a grease stain.
Mara, nobody asked you.
You will go nowhere. This is the culmination of the bargain you proposed. You will witness our triumph or perish as one of us.
Ha.
All right, Eris.
Putting Amaro in his place.
Rejoice, worshipper! You have sounded the horn of battle, and war has arrived!
Bring it.
Go forth, eater of Leviathans, scourge of the sky! Raise thy sister's court, and tide the ashes to thy jaw!
Bane of the Amanages. Leviathan Eater. Damn.
This is crazy.
That's why he left this battle in here. He's like, this is an insane battle.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, right?
man, he's a big guy.
There they are. Little bullets we can fucking pump at them.
Realize they're about to bomb this place flat.
Return to our ritual circle, my acolyte. Your mastery of spellcraft shall be our salvation.
Good puppy.
Get shut up. I got the football. Nice. Okay, is it time to go back out there? What the hell? It's coming in. Okay.
Yeah, this is not like the bubble of safety or personal space. Very much being invaded.
And send them straight to the deep.
So close. So close.
Keep going, keep going.
Nice.
In the name of all the Hive have stolen, conspire with my vengeance. In the name of Crota's Bane, the Kingslayer, and the Light. In the name of Eris Morn. Die unto me for the last time, Acolyte.
Ayat. Sweet.
Eris, how you doing?
Eris, I've arranged the transmat, but once she's here, we'll lose containment. We can't go back on this one.
One last atrocity.
This wasn't the agreement. Xivu is still a threat.
Do it. You will not have another chance.
Eris Morn. Finally out of her shell. It looks good on you, honey.
I am your ruin.
Shit.
Savathun has not been killed by a hive since she lost her worm. Stored eons of potent lies and deceit.
All Savathun's power, plus the tithes of the Guardians.
That should be enough.
Eris Morn is the strongest hive there has ever been.
Damn.
Hear me, dead things. I let this moment pass unnamed, without song. This is the rejection of your sad legacy. Xivu Arath, agitator, fomenter, what a world cyst you have built from your conquests. No more. Now and forever, you are banished. Ayat.
Guardian, it is done. When I killed Savathun, I claimed her eons of stored power. For a moment, I surpassed even Xivu Arath herself. The macabre gifts of the Hive awaited, the pitted plain of open graves. It was magnificent. I rejected them all.
Good on you.
Instead of challenging Xivu Arath, I severed her connection to her throne world. She is mortal now, wherever she may be. Mortal and furious.
Way to
Refusing
go.
conflict split my ritual's foul call. Your tithes drained from me, and now here I stand. A woman who was briefly a god. Ikora tells me Amaru resurrected Savathun. She fled, but left Amaru here, as my ward. An irksome peace offering, for me to destroy if Savathun moves against us. But I am weary of destruction. You may continue to explore Savathun's throne world, as the Queen of Lies is never to be fully trusted.
Agreed.
But for now, I would like only tea. Tea and silence.
Sounds like you in the morning.
Mission report number 472.622.3.
That's fair.
Regarding our ongoing attempts to breach the extraspatial portal within the Traveler. I'm relieved to report that Eris's risky plan worked. Her final ritual banished Xivu Arath from her own throne world. The
Nice.
Hive God of War is vulnerable for the first time in millennia. When the time comes, we can finally force a decisive engagement against her. But first, we have to deal with the witness.
Lovely.
Seems the Witch Queen held up her end of the bargain. I didn't want to let her go, but Savathun offered some enticing collateral. She left Amaru in Vanguard custody. He's an odious little wretch, but an important one. As long as we control the Witch Queen's connection to the light, she'll think twice before crossing us. It went against my every instinct to let Savathun squirm away again.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
But we need to keep our attention on that portal. She gave us the secret to breaching it. Now, we just need to discover what form it's taken. For now, Asa is back in hibernation, and Eris is recovering. More than that, she's thriving.
Good.
I was worried that Eris's obsession with the Hive would overwhelm her, but she's carrying herself with an air of confidence I haven't seen in a century.
Yeah.
And I'm just glad to see her happy.
Agreed.
She's definitely earned that confidence.
Sister, look at how far we've come. I was always destined to become a queen, and you a knight.
Twisting
Just
that
like
knife.
that facile human Kane you like so much. Knights are so powerful there, agile and unpredictable. But there's only a thin line between the knights and the pawns. Do you know which side you're on? Ah, now the witness. There's a king with vision. It has an end in mind, and it knows what that means. Your game has always been the attack and trade, the thrill of victory and the agony of retreat. When the means is violence, you are happy to no end. But this game isn't fought to the last knight standing, or even the queen. It ends when the king has no moves left. Not endless fighting, but the end of fighting. Listen to me go on. You've got other problems wherever you are. You've been locked out of your own castle. Mortal for the first time in millennia. As someone recently back from the dead, I sympathize. But before you move to retaliate, just check. What will it mean to be a knight after the game is ended?
Some of them with their riddles.
Hey, Amaru! Amaru! I heard you ain't enjoying the Vanguard's hospitality.
Stuck in this bush league tower with all these nice ghosts. What do you think?
Sounds like someone's got a chip on their shell. I'd be bitter too if I got turned into a moth monster's leverage. Seems like a bum deal.
I kept the Lucent Hive in line for years while she tried out in the Vanguard's vault.
Feeling a little disrespected?
Please. I had my orders. I made sure that wannabe Hive kept up her end of the bargain.
That you did.
You all think you have the upper hand. But I know Savathun has a plan, and I'm here to make sure it follows through.
Yep, we got our eye on you.
Wait. Why are you talking to me?
No one else wants to. Can't imagine why.
You wouldn't understand. You Guardians all prance around with your ghosts like they're your best friends. No
Our ghost is our
dignity,
best friend.
No professionalism.
You think so? Maybe someday I'll, introduce you to mine.
It's a threat.
Baru is a complicated thesis. More so than sword logic. Instead of killing, Savathun used her cunning to feed her worm.
Yeah,
Every
that's what Eris
time
said.
the Witch Queen outpaced our understanding, she gained power. Every falsehood, fiction, rumor, and misplaced theory gave Savathun her tribute.
Didn't we already go over
Even
this?
in death, she seeks to outwit us. And she's failed once again. Imbaru and the sword logic. Powerful forms of hive magic. And you've subverted both.
As above, so below. We will accept the Hive's power. Use it, Guardian. It is yours.
Whoa.
Logic was always so inelegant. Ziva adored it, but I wanted something with a little more finesse. You fed me my tribute for a long time, but now you've dispelled the mist of my spire. If I still had my worm, it would be eating me up from the inside. Well, good riddance. Thank you for that.
The Spire is still responding to your magic. We have reports of another reconfiguration.
I had assumed we were finished here.
You Vanguard types always walk right into it. Of course you thought that. It's what she wanted you to think. But no. She left you one last puzzle. Consider it a going-away present.
Guardian, this is the culmination of Savathun's trickery. Discover what she has hidden from us.
Boss liked to play a little game about truth and lies. Left you Guardian stumped. A real humdinger. Let's see how you deal with this one.
This is an Ahamkara egg. Uncorrupted by taken energy. Of Riven's clutch? Impossible.
We
Yes, here it
drove
is.
the wish dragons to extinction during the Great Hunt. Riven's eggs were destroyed, or so we thought.
Guardian, you must leave the Spire at once. Ahamkara are powerful beings. Even a newly hatched whim is dangerous.
Wait. Savathun left it here for us to find. Why?
So that it may wreak havoc.
We have to take it back to the Athenaeum.
What?
It can't stay here. Not with Savathun. There's no other course of action.
Which is exactly what she wants you to do.
What then?
Like you said, the kind of havoc only an Ahamkara whim could wreak. Initiate the Transmat Guardian. We'll make sure it's contained.
This is reckless.
I've decided to follow your example.
Guardian, do as Ikora says. I know who to speak to about this discovery.
You always do what Ikora says. Don't want crossing Ikora.
Guardian, what have you been working on in here? A pattern in Savathun's wings. She did give us what she promised. The last wish.
Ophiuchus, I need you to pull some logs from the Cryptarchy archives. It's been a while since we dealt with an Ahamkara. The hidden will need to be briefed. Bring up any thesis papers on how the Ahamkara grant wishes. Include all hypotheses on why they seemingly misinterpret people's intentions. Our best
Seemingly?
minds
Yeah, they
have been
definitely
working on
seemingly
this
do
for
it.
centuries, so there should be plenty. Next, pull all the hidden reports on the Wall of Wishes. I know it makes bargaining with wish dragons less likely to backfire, but we'll need to know exactly how the Techians designed it. And speaking of the Dreaming City, set aside all the after-action reports from the Keep of Voices, and highlight anything to do with the lost final wish. If the path into the portal really depends on a wish dragon, knowledge will be our most potent weapon. They're powerful in ways that we don't understand, and I'm sure they have some hard feelings after the Great Hunt. We'll need to tread carefully. Ahamkara don't give second chances. So if humanity's survival rests on a wish, it'll have to be impeccable.
Leave no room for interpretation on that wish.
Yeah.
All right. Eris didn't die.
No, she kicked butt.
Yeah.
She was amazing in that. I love what Ikora said about her walking around with like this newfound confidence that Ikora hadn't seen in a century. Because, God, if anybody has earned it, Jesus, it's Eris. I mean, what she just went through.
Yeah, to have the power of a god and to turn it down once you have it is something not a lot of people would be able to do. And it's like, yeah, you can't go up against. I mean, I guess she could have taken on Xivu Arath and killed Xivu Arath because she was more powerful than Xivu Arath. But like, in order to do that, then she would have had to, like, what we fear, like, taken over basically as like a hive god. And like, I think that then she would have totally been lost if she had accepted that sort of power. So I didn't see her like, I didn't know where this was going. Like in her shutting out Xivu Arath from the temple and making Xivu Arath human now was brilliant. And yeah, just really impressive. Like Eris Morn, when we just to think of how far she's come, like in our point of view, like, 'cause I mean, we didn't really love her at first. We kind of thought she was a joke a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it really has been just an incredible journey with her as a character. And that moment with Zavathun, like Zavathun looked huge.
Yeah.
And Eris Morn, there was no, like, she did what we always tell people in the movies to do when we're watching the TV. Like, don't give your big speech. Just take care of the bad guy. And like, that's what Eris did. Zavathun walks up. She goes, whew, like.
She still said a badass line, like, I am your ruin. Yeah.
Yeah.
She still gave her action line.
But it was short and to the point.
Exactly. She didn't have to give a big speech.
Yeah. In a sense, it was almost anticlimactic because she took care of Zavathun so quickly. It was the kill shot and just boom. But it wasn't, even though it was kind of anticlimactic in a sense, because you're almost expecting a huge battle and a big old showdown, there was still something incredibly satisfying about it because of what it has done to Eris's character on the back end.
Yeah.
Like the growth that she's gone through, the confidence she's gained, the faith in herself. And I think Ikora's faith in her was rewarded as well, which kind of strengthens how people look at her too. Yeah,
I'm not going to lie. I was kind of hoping for like that cinematic of Eris Morn taking on Xivu Arath, and we're just going to get like this epic battle for a cinematic. This was still like, this did not disappoint. Even though like that's what I was hoping for and expecting, getting this instead was still very satisfying. And then next season, I guess we're going to deal with the Wish Dragons.
Who sound like dicks. But then again, if I was a Wish Dragon, people were really like constantly asking me for stuff. I can see where after a while you might, start to want to screw with them a little bit.
Yeah, I think was it My Name is Bife's video on Destiny lore, that because Wish Dragons seem familiar. Like I don't.
Yeah.
But it's like been a while.
Yeah.
It feels like, and I remember like we thought like Wish Dragon, oh, what a cool name. But then I remember them, just not liking that they were evil. And I mean, even Eris Morn was preaching caution, which is not normally something she does. So know that they are not to be trifled with.
I will say there is something very satisfying, even though we didn't get the showdown with Xivu Arath. There's something very satisfying about the thought of her out there in the world, mortal for the first time, and vulnerable. Just the fear of that reality that she can be killed, and that vulnerability fueling sort of like her being so diminished. It's not necessarily as satisfying as like the big battle, but this leaves the possibility open for that to come in the future still. And in the meantime, the fact that she's just scared and diminished is enough for me right now. I just go like, yeah, that's karma coming back around to her.
That was a pretty epic last battle sequence in there too, especially like we're in our little bubble and thinking like, how long do we have to stay in this thing? Oh my gosh, it's coming right towards us.
It was big.
Yeah.
It was a big guy.
What I was happy with is that Savathun is back. I think I would have been more disappointed with that cinematic and not having the Xivu Arath and Eris Morn fight if Savathun didn't come back. Because like Savathun gets resurrected, like we're kind of teased that Savathun's coming back this season. Like, oh, we got to resurrect her and everything. And we heard some of like, you know, Savathun's recordings and the fact that like this is kind of how she planned all along. So she was still there throughout. But, you know, we never got that resurrection. Then we finally get it. And then she's dead right away. I'm like, oh, well, that's bullshit. So I'm glad that she is actually back right now. So, you know, it means that we can get some more of her because I think she's a fun character and a good villain or a good antagonist. And then as much as he's a twat, Imaro, but he's effective. He makes you feel something at least. You know, he's not someone where you're just like whatever. I don't really think, you know, don't care for him either way. You know, you want someone you really like or you really hate.
Imaro is interesting, and the dynamic there with Savathun is interesting because Savathun has left him as sort of like her collateral.
Yep.
Which is an interesting choice on her part, especially because if she is planning all of this and we know that we can't trust what Savathun may be up to, it was a very effective and intelligent move on her part to actually position him there and leave him as collateral. At the same time, don't trust him at all. No. Like, wouldn't trust him as far as I can throw him. But they alluded to a potential looming power struggle between Savathun and Imaro because Imaro is now in charge. And he kind of likes it. So that, too, then is also interesting for what might be coming down the pipeline in the world of Destiny.
But it's fun because, like, I mean, he's not in charge anymore because by leaving him in their stead or whatever, now he doesn't have that power that he wielded either. So she stripped that from him. Because she's like, because she knew that was going to be a problem. So in a way, it was just kind of like, I think she gave him the ghost because she's like, I don't plan on dying again. So I don't need this ghost anymore. Because if everything goes the way I want it to go, it won't matter. I think that's kind of what she's banking on. And then this is kind of sort of not collateral, more punishment to him for thinking that he could, because I mean, you know, him saying that he didn't want to resurrect her at all and wanted to keep the power. So I think that's what that's all about.
All of it is setting us up for something very enticing in what's to come.
Let us know what you thought about this down below in the comments. And if you want early free access, you can get a month ahead on Patreon. Links in the description of this video. You get early access to both of our channels that way. If you just want early access to our games channel, down below, hit the little join button. Thanks so much for watching Destiny with us, but just keep in mind
that our reaction is definitely not definitive.